Hey there, my name is Nick Foy with AskNickFoy.com, and in this video we're going to be talking about how to choose the right domain name to start your website. So first let's cover some of the basics. What is a domain name? So it's just simply your website URL. So for example, my website domain name is AskNickFoy.com. So whenever somebody types that address into their search bar in Google, it will pull up my website and they can begin browsing, my blog posts and all the different pages I've got on my website. So typically your domain name is going to be comprised of 2 or 3 words. So if you look at mine, for example, it's Ask Nick Foy. So it uses 3 different words that are combined together. But you can also find domains that are 2 words, and sometimes you even have 4-word domain names. It's very hard to find 1-word domain names nowadays because all the general basic domains have already been taken. So a lot of the domain names you're going to have to come up with, you're going to have to get creative mixing and matching different words into different combinations that people haven't thought of before, or they haven't taken the time to actually purchase as a domain name. So how to choose your name? Well, first you've got to come up with a list of words, and they should be related to your niche you're in. So for example, if you're running like a fitness website, you're going to want, different words related to fitness and the health industry. So arm workouts, core workouts, exercises, squats, biceps, triceps. You could get real specific if your website's going to be about a particular muscle group, or if it's about a certain part of the body, like the upper body or the lower body or the core, the shoulders. You can get as specific as you want depending on how broad or how specific your website's going to be. And then you just think up, as many words as you can related to what you want your website to be about. Then from there, you're going to take those words and you can use, the thesaurus on Google and try to come up with a bunch of synonyms for those words. So this is going to help multiply your list of words and make it even bigger so that you have lots of options to choose from. And then think about the different slang words that also represent some of the words on your list that you could interchange. Instead of using the normal traditional word, you could use the slang word that still means the same thing. So by doing this, you're going to have a massive list of words that all relates to your niche. That way when somebody, whichever of these words you choose, somebody's going to be able to kind of read those words and understand what your website's about. But your name's not, super important, so I don't want you to get stuck taking days and days trying to figure out the perfect domain name. Because really what matters is the content that you publish on your website. That's what's going to get you remembered. A lot of people don't even take time, especially on mobile phones nowadays, which is where like 60 or 70% of my website users, they're coming from mobile phones. So they're not even able to see the URL up in the top of their phone because it cuts it off after so many characters. So they're more interested in just scrolling your website, looking at the content you have, wherever they came from, whether it was Google or they were on a social media or they were on Pinterest, and they somehow came across a post or some kind of marketing promotion of yours, and that got them interested in your content, and they're coming to look at your content. They might not even notice your domain name and what it is, and they might not, remember it and come back later because they didn't actually take a look to see what it is. So it's not as important as you think. What gets people to remember your name and your domain names is, how good your website is, how good the content is, how helpful it is, and the value it provides people. If you create really good value content, people are going to take notice of your website name and they're going to come back. So if you think about just some examples, Facebook or YouTube, Pinterest, let's see here, there's StumbleUpon. You think about these weird names that people just created. Uber's another one. So people just made up these names, and these words had no meanings prior to that, but now they have meaning because of the businesses that the founders of those words built, the content, the systems, the software, the services, whatever it is that those companies do. That's what's got them remembered, is the value that they're providing us people in our lives. Like Uber, for example, with their traffic taxi system. Basically, they branched off the old taxi system and they made it convenient for you to catch a ride share somewhere. So because of what they do, the value they provide us, that's how we remember their name. So that's just my little rant on, the importance of a name. It's not super important. You're probably going to think of a better domain name, several days from now after you've already picked one anyway. So just go ahead, get started with this exercise, and you should be able to get one kind of figured out within the 20 to 30 minutes. So next, once you've got a big list of words, start mixing and matching these words. Again, try to stick to 2 or 3 word combos. I typically recommend avoiding 4-word combo names because once your domain name starts getting super long, it kind of gets sloppy. So the only time 4 words is okay is if it really makes sense, if everything goes together. So if I was going to do Nick Foy workout videos or something like that, that would be 4 separate words that kind of would go together. So I think I even have one right now that's called Free Blog Training Videos, and it's just kind of a side website I was working on to build different videos and publish them in the form of a blog post. So I do have a couple domains that are 4 words, but it's got all the words kind of have to go together and make sense. Otherwise it starts getting super long. The shorter your domain is, the better, because it's a lot easier to tell somebody and for them to remember. All right, so add in your first and last name if you're stuck trying to figure out ideas of domain names. This is something you can consider doing. Stick in your first and your last name or both, and that's how you can kind of come up with, a new domain name. So a lot of people, they will start websites around their personal name. So some examples, Melissa Griffin, she's like a super successful online business owner that sells courses and some services and ebooks, and she builds these membership communities. So she uses her name. Formerly, it used to be the Nectar Collective. That was her 3-word domain name, and then she took it down to just her name, which is Melissa Griffin. Same with Pat Flynn. He's got Smart Passive Income. He makes, a couple $100,000 a month online promoting affiliate products. So that's his main website. He teaches everybody how to be an affiliate marketer, how to create an online business. And then he's got his own personal website as well. I believe it's patflynn.com. So there's a lot of successful bloggers who, can be successful just using their own name as their domain name. So then if you want to add in like a niche word, so if I was going to do like Nick Foy Fitness or, Nick Foy Workouts or Nick Foy Exercises or something like that to kind of tell somebody when they come to my website, what my name is, but not only that, it also tells them kind of what my website's about because they see the word fitness or exercise or whatever I stuck on with my name and the domain name. So then you want to pick an extension like the .com or .co. These are the most professional, most common extensions for your domain name. So asknickfoy.com or asknickfoy.co. Try to avoid the sloppy, weird extensions out there that, a lot of people are trying to make work, and it just looks unprofessional, sloppy, and it's kind of weird. So, for example, if I would have done nickfoy.fitness, nickfoy.ca, nickfoy.ly, those just wouldn't make as much sense. It's better to stick with the traditional .com or .co domain names. All right, so next what we're going to do is we're going to start getting into a tool you can use called Namecheap. They've got a domain name lookup tool. So once you've thought up some different ideas and written them down, you can come over here to this tool, start typing them in, and it will tell you if they're already taken or not. That way you can decide upon ones that are still available, and you can have, your friends or family or whoever vote on the one they like best if you're coming down to 2 or 3 choices that you can't decide between. So next, let's go ahead and get over into that lookup tool. All right, so here we are on the Google homepage. So up here in the search bar, you can do it 2 ways. You could type in the words Namecheap, and that's going to take you direct to their website, or you can use my affiliate link. So if I type in asknickfoy.com and then the slash mark and then the words Namecheap. So it's all one word that goes together. So asknickfoy.com Namecheap. If you do it that route, it's going to tell Namecheap I sent you, and I think it might give us both some credit off our domain name, so it might save you a few bucks. So that's, a way to use my referral code to let them know I sent you. Otherwise, you could just type in Namecheap. But either way, once you get here, it's going to say search for a domain name. So you can start typing in your ideas. So for example, if I was going to do Nick Foy Fitness for like a fitness website, I would type that in. Then you want to go ahead and type in .com, the extension on it, to make sure that that's the one that's available. And they're going to go ahead and pull up the results, and then they're going to give you a lot of suggestions of extensions that you could use in exchange for .com. But again, you want to try to focus on using the .com one. So here it is. It tells me it retails right now for $10.69 a year. Right now, they're only selling it for $8.88 a year. So it's on a little bit of a discount sale right now. So I could buy this domain for less than $9. It is available. It's got the check mark here, nickfoyfitness.com. And then again, they show you some other versions, .life, .news, .live, .store, .design. But these are those weird, sloppy ones. That's why they're a lot cheaper to buy. And it's better just to stick to the professional .com domain if you want to be taken serious as an online business. So again, I just typed in my option there, and it pulled up whether it was available or not. If it's not available, it'll say, there will be like a little minus sign here instead of a plus sign, or this box here will disappear, and it'll say, who owns this domain, or it'll want you to kind of bid on it or auction it. So it means somebody else already owns it. So you'll be able to tell that the domain's not available if you type it in and you don't see this plus sign here, or you don't see the check mark. So that's what you do. You would just come here to Namecheap, type in your ideas, see if they're available, and then when you're ready, you would just click the add to cart button. It brings it over here to your cart, and you can check out through Namecheap, or you get one free domain name when you sign up with your website hosting company with Bluehost. So in another video, we're going to be walking you through how to choose the right hosting company once you've picked the right domain name for your business. So the hosting company is going to be the company that actually gives your website space on the internet. It connects the servers and it connects your web pages so that when people go to your web pages, they're live on the internet. So hosting, it's kind of a confusing topic, but we'll get more into it. But you want to pick the right host that, never causes your site to be down. It's got fast page load time speed so that your visitors don't get ticked off at you for having a slow website. And you got lots of other features that you want to make sure the right website host has. So when you're signing up for website hosting, they'll ask you, what if you want a free domain with your hosting plan. So they'll give you one domain name for free. And if you already have a domain name, let's say you bought one off Namecheap already, then you could type in your domain name when you're signing up for hosting under the I already have a domain tab. But if not, then you go under the I need a new domain tab, you type in your new domain, and it'll let you, check out with that domain name for free in addition to what you're paying for your hosting. So that's in another video, but that's another route to go. Once you find your domain name, then you'll have it ready when you go to buy hosting. So that concludes this video on the steps to take to choose your perfect domain name. Again, the domain name's not super important. You'll probably even think of better domain names over time that you wish you would have went with. So, take 20, 30 minutes, try to think out a lot of words, mix and match combos, and then once you pick one, you're going to stick with it, for the life of your business, because it gets really hard to change your website over from one domain to another. So make sure that you are for sure you want that domain name when you finally decide on one, and then go ahead and, sign up with either Namecheap or through your hosting company, and that's how your domain name is going to actually get bought. And then you can start setting it up, connecting it to your hosting account, which like I said, we'll be covering in another video. So thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next lesson.